and it was it gave us an error. We were hoping to go live. Let's go ahead and move over there so we have a better background behind
Sure.
us. So,
Let's sit here.
how are you guys? It is beautiful out. I would say, what is it, in the 70s, Franny?
Oh yeah, it's like 76 or so degrees.
Yep. So, all right. Technical difficulties here for a minute.
All right, there we go.
How does that look? Yeah.
That looks okay.
Hopefully
We're a
you can
little
hear
dark,
us.
but-
It shouldn't be too windy. Was conscious of that. Somebody mentioned that it was really hard during the last live stream, so hopefully you guys can hear us okay. We are in the back cockpit area, and yeah, we are in Highbourne Key. It's a private key island, so we have not been ashore. There's a lot of private beaches and stuff around
We
here.
haven't been to one that isn't yet.
That's
so-
not true. We were in Bimini. We went to one beach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but a lot of that other marina is private though too. So whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, yeah. But it's been lovely on our boat. Lots of beautiful water, and we went on a little adventure yesterday.
Yeah. So I posted some stuff to our WhatsApp group. We
And
went to go
Instagram.
see the and Instagram went to go see the iguanas over.
Yep.
And they are, let's see. Okay, so these
Oh.
islands that are way back over here. Let's see if I can point over. So then I have to do it in front of Heidi. Sorry.
Well, no.
It's right over there.
That's not right.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, yeah, we walked around.
Yep,
All right.
that's them. So those islands in the background there that's Allen's Key, and that's where the iguanas are.
Yeah, that wasn't too far. Probably about 10
Yeah.
minutes from here by dinghy.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And some of the other ones, there's another little, so that's actually Cabbage Key, I think is what it's really called. And then,
Cabbage is where all the iguanas were. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a bunch.
there's a ton of them. And then,
Yeah.
and then just to the south of that is like South Allen's Key, and there's some on that island as well. And they're really cool. They're interesting. They're really colorful. I wasn't expecting that. They're super colorful. And they are the largest indigenous animal to the Bahamas is what they are. So kind of interesting. They look like the size of a burrito. They're kind of big. They probably weigh, I'm guessing they weigh probably about 2 pounds or so, 2 or 3 pounds. So they probably bite. We didn't get that close to them,
They kind of chased me a couple of times.
but that's okay.
Oh, it's the wind's picking up. So does can you guys give us some feedback? How
Yeah, let us know.
can you hear us okay right now? Or
Yeah,
is
just
it
let
too
us
windy
know.
on the cell phone? Because we're moving around a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep I don't know where the mic is actually.
Okay.
So,
So
but
sorry about that.
yeah, let us know if you get a bunch of wind noise. We kind of moving around a little bit on Anchor here.
Yeah.
So
You gotta go off the beaten path.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
Lots of water. It's a bit windy. Okay. So
a bit windy. Okay, let's try to sit
we
over
move
here. Yeah, maybe we can move over here. Let's
this
try
will be
this.
better.
Is this better?
Mm.
Hopefully this. Yeah, there's less wind here. So,
We have the Aussie behind us.
and we have a muffin.
And we have people behind us on the walking on the roof. I
yeah,
guess,
so.
on the roof. So anyway, so that should be better. Yeah, I don't feel any wind on me, so
Yeah, no,
should be
this
better.
Should be better.
So we've had an interesting time getting here. We had some kind of rough weather when we were sailing to get here. So we haven't had a live stream for a while. Like, we couldn't do live streams when some of our boat stuff was kind of a little crazy.
Well, so we traveled over from No Name Harbor
Yeah, we
in
did a live
Biscayne
stream.
Bay,
We did a live
and I
stream.
think we did a live stream for that. So then we ended up and did we do one? We didn't do one when we got to Bimini, did we?
No, we haven't done any
Okay.
since, I don't think.
Okay, that's perfect. Great. So when we were in, we did our check-in in Bimini actually, and we went to one of the marinas. Interesting a little bit. So I went in and got us cleared. You have to go through immigration first, then to customs. Immigration is actually in the police station. So you tootle up to the police, just walk up the street. We were pretty close to it. And there was a lady there, and she asked specifically, "Are any of you anchored out?" And nobody was. So there were like 3 of us there. And like, "Well, did you anchor?" I said, "No, we just got here." And like, no, did you anchor out but then just got here?" I'm like, "No, we never anchored out. We went straight to the marina. Just got here just a little bit ago at the marina." And she was like, "Okay." So I think the problem is that if you don't go into a marina, and I don't know if they've got something going on with the marinas or whatever, but if you don't go into the marina, then they'll charge you, what I've heard is like an extra $100 for
So you may as well stay at the
immigration.
marina.
So you might as well stay at the it was cheaper than that for a night at the marina.
It was, yeah.
We didn't take power or water because we didn't need it.
No.
So, but it was super cheap. It was only
Yeah,
like
it was like
$1.80 a foot or something.
$15 per day. For power.
Yeah, well, we didn't get
And
power
we didn't do
anyways.
water. So anyway.
I didn't want to hook up to their sketch power because once we got to the dock, it was pretty sketch. But all their pilings are cracked and half
It's
broken.
just it's a fixed dock, and it just
Yeah.
is older.
Somebody's hit it
So-
pretty good and hard. So
It's
anywho,
fine. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. So we were fine there. We actually stayed a couple of days, and then we headed from
That's right.
there.
We stayed there for more than one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw Captain Jen.
We did see Captain Jen. She actually
Yeah.
came on the boat and she helped
Yeah.
us with a little bit of planning and stuff. She had
did.
a
She's been super helpful.
she had a class there, so
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
She spends a lot of time in the whole region, like the Miami and
Yep.
Miami Bay, Biscayne
Yeah.
Bay, and then also
That's right. She did come by.
Bahamas. So it was nice seeing Captain Jen again. Yeah, for sure. She was actually going to help us sail over.
The timing just didn't work
Yeah,
out.
the timing didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I mean, Franny and I did it by ourselves, and we can do it.
But we're fine.
So it was
we're
totally fine. We like Captain Jen, and she was
Yeah.
going to actually work with me a little bit on my sailing skills. Franny's pretty good, but I need some improvement. So that's
Well,
why
we've been on our own ever since we left Annapolis.
Yeah, we've been doing great.
Yeah, now
For
that I
sure.
think about it.
Yeah,
So
we
there
haven't
you
had
go.
anybody helping us
Yeah,
sail.
we've been by ourselves. So,
Yeah.
Anywho, then we went from there down south to Cat Key.
Yeah.
And we stayed there for an overnight because we were just kind of waiting. We
At that
wanted
point,
to.
we were just bopping along.
Yeah, we bopped along, but we needed to get over to Chub Key, and
That's the
so
brutal
Cat Key is also private, and so is Chub. So we couldn't go ashore either of those 2 places. But we sort of staged down at Cat Key, and then we headed across
Across, you say across.
the Bahama Bank
The Bahama Bank.
to
Yes.
Chub Key.
So
and
you
that
don't
was a
really
bit rough.
know what the Bahama Bank really is all about until you cross it.
Well, it's a big plateau.
Yeah.
So try to think of this the way it was 20,000 years ago when there were polar ice caps and things and big, huge, well, I guess we still have polar ice caps, but I mean big, huge glaciers and things. The seawater level was quite a bit lower. And that whole area, I'm sure, was just a grassy plain. It's huge.
Yeah,
It's just
really
a
huge.
massive, flat, grassy plain. And then when you look on the charts, you can see where the rivers were. There were a couple of them, and there's a confluence that comes together right before you hit the really deep water. They call it the tongue of the ocean. Very deep water. And then you have to go a little bit further to get to Chub. That's right. I'm trying to keep all this straight in my head.
Right. So there's like the big plateau, and then a really deep area, and then you hit Chub.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
plateau was, how many feet was that? The plateau.
The plateau it's not very deep at all. It's like
50
15, 20 feet,
20
something
feet.
like that.
25
Yeah,
feet, something.
it's not very deep at all.
Right, yeah. So that was really shallow. But the waves kicked up a bit. I mean,
It was choppy.
we were trying to do some sailing, and
was
it didn't work out. It was
There's
head
a
to wind.
surprise.
Yeah.
So surprise,
And honestly,
surprise.
we
Yeah.
do try to plan it so that we are not head to wind. But it just ended up working out that way again.
Yeah, well, the weather was going to get a little worse, so we thought
Yeah.
we should get going.
Right.
So we did. At any rate, when we hit the deep bit, the little part that's the tongue of the ocean, I mean, that goes down to like 4,000 feet or something like that. It's super deep. Then the waves got bigger and
really,
a little longer period, but whoosh, they were up to
big.
6 feet or so.
Yeah, we were kind of worried
Head
about
to
our
wind.
buddy boat. They were behind us, and we were just like, heads up, there's some big waves coming.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
sure.
it wasn't like Was it like Key West when we did the Key West thing, and maybe a bit? Was there slamming?
Maybe. Yeah,
We
there
dealt with
was
some slamming.
There were a few times when I felt the boat just sort
Yeah.
of fall off the edge of a wave and head down towards the ground. It
Yeah,
was like
it wasn't as bad as the northbound around Cape Hatteras last year, though, was it? That was just total slamming.
That was different. That was just
Yeah.
short 4x4. So 4-foot waves on 4
But yeah,
periods.
these were bigger waves.
They were bigger
not
but longer
huge.
periods.
Yeah, it was just
So,
weird.
yeah.
So,
It wasn't
I
too
mean,
bad, actually.
It was the side of the sailing that, like, most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time it's enjoyable, and then there's the 10%.
Yeah.
5 to 10% where it can be not great.
So really not that bad.
Yeah.
We ended up getting in there, and we stayed there for a couple of days as well. We left from there.
I actually got more seasick on Anchor one of the days at Chubb. Chubb was very
Chubb was kind of rolly.
And that was the first time where I actually was like, I'm just going to put the patch on. I was just laying down all day. I couldn't get anything done. And it was the only time where, people have said that, where they've been at Anchor and it's just been really rolly. And even though we were kind of protected, the water would come around and into this bay area where we were at Chubb. And so we couldn't wait to get out of there. That was like one day, and we left the next morning.
So those rollers come in from the tongue of the oceans. And because the wind was blowing from the south-ish and southeast-ish and all over, I guess, southwest, southeast, something southeast bit, it was rolling up, and it would come up, and there would be this diffraction as it went around the peaks. We could see it hitting on the other side, and the waves were so big they were popping up over the top of the breakwater. I mean, it looked pretty intense out there.
Right.
So we stayed put for a couple of days because yikes.
Yeah.
And then we waited for a very calm day, and we went down to we went from there to here. Is that right? Where did we go after Chubb? We went from Chubb to here.
No, there was one in between.
We went from Chubb. Duh. We went to West Bay. Duh. That's right. So New Providence. We were going to go to.
Yeah, we were there for a couple of days.
Yeah, we were going to go to Nassau and get gas, but we ended up in West Bay. That's right. Duh. I knew there was something in between.
Yeah.
So went to West Bay, and we hung out there for a couple of days as well. Same issue, waiting for the wind to chill.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days.
And that was the.
We have some questions coming up, Franny. Quite a few questions.
Yep.
So
But let me
yeah.
finish what I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
So
no worries.
So there we had we had to do a dinghy adventure, a little dinghy rescue adventure.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So it was our last day. It was windy and very choppy and a bit rough actually in the bay, and I could hear off in the distance. I heard this little. Couldn't figure out what it was. I was inside working on the computer, and I went out, and 2 boats over, there was a trawler over there. There was a guy with his air horn just blasting away, and then I looked. I was like, "What is he? What's he on about?"
Like, normally they wouldn't do that unless something's going on with something on top of your boat, like a sail or.
Yeah.
So we started looking around on our boat. We didn't see anything going on, and then you spotted.
Yeah, I spotted out back about halfway between the boat next to us, which was a catamaran, and the rocky, shoaly bit on the edge was their dinghy, just kind of tootling away, just blopping away.
There's a little rescue video on Instagram. You can check it out.
How do you put up the rescue video?
I filmed the whole thing because I was actually going to go with her, and Franny's like, no, stay with the boat. And I was like, fine, I'll just film everything. And it was a while. I felt bad that I wasn't with Franny because it looked like she was really struggling when she actually went to retrieve the dinghy because the rocks were right there.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind it.
She couldn't get around. She couldn't get it attached, and she couldn't find their painter. And
they didn't have a painter.
Yeah, they didn't have a painter.
That was the issue. So I came up alongside and hooked up to it, and then tried to back up, and it's very difficult to get the dinghy to go backwards straight.
Right.
Ours has enough prop walk as it is, and then with another dinghy next to it, it was almost impossible. I had to try 3 or 4 times just to back it up enough to keep it off the rocks.
Did you reverse or what?
Yeah.
How did you end up?
Yeah, that's what I did. And so once I finally got it out enough, then I had brought some line with me, and I found the front of their boat, hooked up a line to it, and then tied it off on the back of our dinghy. Then I had to get them. Now the two dinghies are right next to each other, and I can't get them apart. And it was a big fuss. My
It's a
gosh.
Sunday morning too, so she's like showing up to these people's boat, and you know they're still in their PJs, and
Well, I finally got
It's like,
got around it and finally got ahead of it. And once I got ahead
Yeah.
of it, then I could pull it away and just headed back slowly. But boy, it was choppy and water coming in everywhere. It was a mess. So anyway, they got their dinghy back. So
Yeah,
yay, that was fun.
I need a rescue.
Yeah, so that was that. And then we left for here, which is Highbourne Key. So this is the top of the Exumas.
And this
one
will
of
be
the-
our third night here, I think.
Yeah. And that
We're leaving
sail
again
was
tomorrow.
actually really delightful. It was just almost uneventful, very mellow.
We
We-
actually got the sails out.
We got a sail out for a little bit, but it was no wind. And then I had to put it all back. But we just motored over. The reason we
Yeah.
were here was because we could get gas at the marina.
Yeah, so that's something to consider. So, a lot of people they want to sail more, so they'll look at the wave periods and stuff like that, and the wave heights. And because we have cats, we tend to look for really calm, flat seas, which means that we may not get much wind. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because the wind kind of stirs up the sea. So a lot of times we tend to take those nice flat seas, and we end up motoring. So we are kind of a motorboat with sails.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, if the wind is going, if it's aft of the beam, then I'm more apt. It doesn't really matter. They're following seas, and you've got decent wind behind you. That's great. And catamarans kind of like that anyways, so that works really well. They don't like sailing to wind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we try our best, honestly. But so today, the wind, we're up in the north part of Highbourne Key, and we are sort of in this horseshoe-shaped marina, or not marina, anchorage up here. We had the place almost to ourselves, and now there's a ton of boats here.
Yeah, the wind's changing.
The wind is changing,
So people are moving.
yeah, so it's going to be a thing. So we're supposed to get some strong winds out of the south, and then once that's the wind's clocking around, so it's doing a 360. It goes right around the clock clockwise, and it's now getting close to south. So it started up the east, went southeast, and it's getting close to south. By the time
And this horseshoe is kind of to the north. So
Yeah.
like if you looked at the island, there's a little horseshoe shape at the top of the island on the north side.
Yep.
So we are kind of, you can kind of, I don't know if you want to turn it around and show
yeah, I
people.
will show
here,
people in a
but,
sec.
but let's answer some questions. We have people asking some questions. So, when, I don't need to pin it. When you are in the Bahamas this year after sailing south from Annapolis Boat Show, you will get all kinds of lobster. The season starts in August. 2 or 3 seasons in the Bahamas at least. So that's from svingenuity. So I don't know if you know this, but we found out last year that Franny's allergic to lobster. So I mean, I'm not super excited about going and diving and doing that. So I don't know how much lobster we'll get. I would love lobster, but I don't
Well,
want
our
to work
friends
for it.
on our buddy boat,
Yeah.
they're very much into it. So we'll see what
maybe
we can
they'll
find.
get some.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought there was more questions.
We had some friends that stopped by the other night, and
Oh, we have Pierre here too.
you just have to get rid of that.
I know. Why does he keep doing that?
Yeah.
Hi, Pierre.
Pierce
It's
says.
great. Yeah, it's great to see him.
So let's see.
Oh, we have some more questions.
Lots of season right now, isn't it? I think it is actually. So we had some friends who pulled a couple of lobsters off the
Oh yeah,
just
they
off the
came
reef
by.
right here.
They had a ginormous one. I mean, it was huge. Yeah, there's a reef really kind of right behind us, and they just said it took them 30 minutes, and they're very experienced Bahamaers.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, they've been here many times, and they knew what they were doing, and they knew the right places to go and where to look for them, and so they speared it. They got a big, huge lobster.
Yeah. So
And I guess you have to get them in a certain size, or you have to put it back, I think.
yeah,
right?
yeah, they have to be a certain size for sure.
Small.
But this
The
one was huge.
Sailing Fair Isle is on too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yay, yeah.
Steve and Judy.
Steve and
so,
Judy.
Yay.
Hello, guys.
Um,
We miss you guys.
we do. We miss you guys.
Yeah.
We would love to have. So we're trying to make it down to. We're trying to make it down to Georgetown because we don't know what we're doing and we don't know what to do.
Really true.
So it would be great to have some people. Oh, you got to go check this out. You got to check that. We've gotten a lot of advice, but
Yeah.
if you've got cool stuff between here and there that in the Exumas that you think, besides things like, well, we're going to go to Woodrick Wells for sure. Norman Key is kind of next-ish. We have to go down to Lobster Key because it's going to be a nice protection for the big northerly that this wind's going to clock around to the north. And then we'll be there for a day or so. And then we'll hit the Normans to see the C-46. So I learned something about that C-46. So that airplane, I always thought it was a Twin Beach. It's a C-46 that went down. And there was a guy, so Pablo Escobar was there, or one of the other drug lords was there. And they always say it's his airplane. It wasn't. It was this guy, bought it in the United States. He was a pilot, British Andy they called him, and he flew it out here, landed to see if Pablo would be interested in the airplane, and Pablo wasn't. It wasn't his airplane. He's like, nah. Although it would have made a great drug runner's plane, I think. Maybe a little old. But it was big. It's an old World War II transport is what it is. Like bigger, it's like a DC-3, but only bigger. At any rate, so he took on one of the kids in the area there, and he wanted to do some touch and goes, and he was supposedly quite the drunk from what I understand as well. So this is quite a colorful story.
Airplane pilot.
But he took off and he flew around and he went back to the airstrip and tried to do a touch and go, and he came in a little too short and he clipped the landing gear. I forget which was right or left gear, one of the two of them, so bad that it was just dangling and hanging from the airplane. And he caught that prop on that engine as well, which shut the engine down. So then he tried to climb out, and he could just barely maintain altitude to try and come around and maybe, I don't know, put that thing on the runway again. But he didn't make it, and he just ended up in the water. So that's how that airplane came to be. So that's what it is. It's just too bad. It looked like it was a nice airplane at one point, but oh well. But yeah, so it wasn't full of drugs. It wasn't full of anything, except they sent out a boat, I guess, from the marina and picked up the pilot, this guy, Andy, and the kid that he had, neighborhood kid that he had. And they were both fine, evidently. But that was from an eyewitness report, supposedly I read. So anyway, so I want to go down and see that. Long story. And then Woodrick Wells, and so there's the mangrove thing we want to do, and then also the lazy river thing on the way down. So that looks like fun.
I mean, there's been some things that we've wanted to do, and certain things we could do, and then sometimes they're weather dependent. So, like one of the things that we didn't get to do was to see Atlas, I guess, which was over by Nassau. So that was
not by Nassau, but by West Bay. Yeah, it's around
West Bay, I guess.
Yeah, it's around
a big
the corner from
statue
West
that's
Bay.
under.
It's underwater statue.
That kind of creeps me out. If anyone to see it, I don't know. I just don't want to see it.
Okay. I don't know, why does it creep you out?
I don't know.
Okay, weird.
Yeah.
It was just too choppy, and I didn't want to take the dinghy out there in super bad chop. The day we left, it was dead calm, and there were tons of boats out there. Didn't realize it, but there were a ton of tankers. We had to go like snaking in between all of these tankers to get through, or cargo ships or whatever they were. But we had to kind of
That's
move around
right.
them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's on the Nassau
And then
side.
some big, I call them Star Destroyers, the big, huge yachts, the big over 100-foot cruisers.
They're the super yachts that are just,
yeah.
they got like swimming pools inside of them and stuff.
Yeah, there's some big
Yeah.
yachts out there too.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing out here?
Right.
So, anyhow, that was that. But so that's our plans. We probably will make it down to Georgetown in the next maybe 10 days-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a very loose goal, but we're going to try and get down there. Our friend Shane and Marilee are leaving on the 2nd, I think they said, so we're going to try to get down there before that. It's about 10 days and see them. If not, we'll catch them on the way up as they move up. We're just trying to figure it out. So.
Sure.
Other than that, the boat's been working well. That's been doing its thing.
Yeah.
And we are eating through our store of food that we brought, so which is fine. That's what it's for. Food here is okay and crazy expensive if you go to a restaurant. Like cheeseburgers are like $20-$30.
We've been to one restaurant so far. We went
In
when we
Bimini.
were in Bimini, and there was like a little convenience store where we bought fuel, and like a little thing of ice cream was like a little kind of Ben and Jerry's size ice cream was like $15.
Cheaper.
So just to give you an
But that
idea
was
of
here.
pricing.
That was here
And
in
then
Highbourne.
$10 to dump your trash.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
gas price wasn't too well. Diesel wasn't too bad.
$5.50. It's like $3.50 in the U.S.
Well, yeah, but you expect it
So,
to be like
more
$6
here.
or $7 here, and
They have
it's
to
really.
make it. They have to make it across that lovely bank.
Well, I got patience for that. So,
Yeah, right,
this
right.
place is a big fishing place because
There's a
on
lot.
the other side, over
Uh-huh.
on the other side, I'll show you all this in a minute. Is it gets very, very deep over there, so there's a lot of fishing out
Yeah,
there.
why don't
so.
you take them for a tour?
Yep.
So,
All right, I'm gonna spin you
well,
around.
hopefully it won't be too windy, but
Okay.
we'll at least let you see what's going on, and you can point out all the boats.
All
that are
right.
here.
So this guy just showed up. This is a valley, 4.6, 46-foot valley that just showed up. It's a
Green yacht
That's a-
charter.
charter boat. Okay, so sorry about the wind. So it's gonna be a little windy, noisy. Well, let's walk you up the front here and see what it looks like up front. So the sun just came out, which is nice. We've been under a cloud there for a few minutes. Let's start with the water. That is the water down there. You can see all the way down to the bottom. It's crystal clear. It's the Bahamas, right? It's supposed to be like that. There was a nurse shark out here. I call him Bob because he's been out here quite a bit. Maybe he'll be out here again. We'll see him.
Yeah.
He's out here. So this is you can easily see the bridle down there and our chain. That's the black line going out to the anchor, which is, I don't know, about 80 feet that way or so. So this is the sort of horseshoe at the top of Highbourne Key. This is a great anchorage. There's almost no chop or roll. It's great. That means a little bit of movement, but not bad. It's got some altitude to it. Oh, so one thing I do want to mention is last night we got to see the SpaceX launch
Oh yeah.
and the retrieval, which was way over here. So spin around, and over the top of this hill here is where the booster came down, and they launched directly over Florida bit over that way.
I know
And so
where we were. When you
yeah, so Heidi posted a video on Instagram of it. It was very cool, but it was really something to see that. You could see the launch just go up. So the launch started way over here, and let's see, so out by where that yellow boat is out there, and just went up and 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 up across, and then after a little while, you could see up in here, you could see it separate, and then you couldn't actually see the booster until the engines fired on it, and then
Right.
they fired up, and as it came down, and you saw it drop below the horizon, and then it
I had turned off the video
Bam,
by then,
bam.
and unfortunately I forgot about the sonic boom.
it was really cool.
But it
was
was
really
really
cool.
loud.
Oh, and we got another neighbor. And we got yet another neighbor. So they just showed up. So they're
Yeah.
dropping their anchor as well.
Loud
So-
anchor.
Right? Look at that. So, all right, let's take you over on this side. So those islands way out there, these islands out there are where the iguanas are. And you can just kind of hang out with them. It's kind of over where that cut is.
Talk louder, Franny.
Yep, and they're just hanging out there. They just live there. So just show up. It's not a private island. You can reach your dinghy there. It's usually reasonably crowded, as you can imagine, but it was nice yesterday. There was only one other boat, and they left. So that's pretty much it. There's another anchorage around that point and a little bit further on. So if you go out around there and then go back over this way, that's where all of these boats came from. So they were all over there, and they all showed up just about 2 or 3 hours ago.
It was empty.
So it was empty.
Yeah.
It was totally empty.
It was totally empty here.
those are our friends there on Atlas. So that's our buddy boat there, Atlas. Big cell tower over there, and looks like microwave. So that's means that we have good cell service here, which is great.
Yep.
Everything else on the boat is fine. I mean, not much else going on really.
Sorry about the wind noise. It is
Yeah,
windy.
we can go back if it's noisy. See if we can find Bob. Is Bob out here? Did you see Bob anywhere?
I usually have to like throw some, avocado.
So let's get a little closer view of the water. He's usually back here somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Well, there's lots of boats now, so.
Yeah. So there's a view of the water. I did take some 3D footage of Bob and his buddies down there. There's Bob. There he is. There he is. That's Bob. So that's our guy.
His name's Bob.
Yeah, he hangs out under the boat. All right, let's see if I can get a better. Can you see him better from over there?
No. I don't see him at all.
Let me see. See if I can get over there.
Where do you think he is?
He's right here. I saw him. Oh, there he is. He's right under the boat.
Yeah, don't leave my phone.
There's Bob. Say hi, Bob. Say hi to everyone, Bob. So that's a big nurse shark, I think. That's what it is. And he comes by and eats the fuzz off the rocks. I think that's what he's doing. But yeah, he's just directly under the boat right now. Look at that.
Right there.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Thanks, Bob, for showing up, buddy. That was great.
Of course. He heard about the live stream. We actually posted.
Right. So,
we actually let people know there was a live stream this night.
yeah, so it's great to see Bob.
Yeah.
Still haven't gotten the sunfish down yet. I want to, but we've been just busy with a million other things, and we move every other day or so, so it's been tough to kind of get through that and everything else. And yes, so there were some questions about, there was a comment about the kitties, that they have transitioned to being on a boat. They seem to be doing just fine.
Ozzy is he's a boat kitty for sure.
Yeah, he is.
Actually, Zeke is too.
He's doing really well.
Just in different ways.
The
Zeke definitely gets seasick still, but
Well, yes and no. I mean, on the last passage, I was really, really mellow. We didn't
none of us
put
took
Zeke
any.
on anything,
No.
and everybody was fine. So I think we're getting used to it. I think part of it is these anchorages aren't particularly rolly, but they're not totally flat either. And so I think kind of this movement gets you used to a bit of movement, and your body's not so freaked out by it anymore.
Yeah, doesn't think
so.
it's been poisoned.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right.
So
So everybody's doing better.
yeah.
Well, I think that's probably it for now. We'll tune in with yeah, we've gone over 30 minutes on this.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in. For those of you, is there any other questions that we missed?
Yeah, just let us know if there's any questions,
That's a little...
and we will we'll answer your questions. If you've got when you're going go south versus north for hurricane season, we're going to go north.
Go north again. We have more projects, so more projects, more video,
Yep.
more stuff to do on the boat, and it actually works out really well. We sort of have this little home slip in Chesapeake Harbor Marina that we can get stuff shipped to easily, and so it's a little home-ish. It's a little bit of land life. There's good places to walk and run, and
It's a nice
have our
contrast to
car.
this, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about the boat because it's glued to the
great
to
food.
the pilings.
Annapolis has like the best places to eat.
Yeah.
Too.
So
Yeah.
that'll be fun too, and it's always great to look forward to things even though they're very different. You
Yeah.
know. So that'll be good. We got some projects to do on the boat this summer as well. Fuel system and galley refit.
The galley, yeah. I'm excited about the galley. Yeah.
The power system's working really well on the boat. We did run the generator today, but I think it was the first time in like 4 or 5 days we've run the generator. We lose maybe about 10 to 15% a day. So if you start at 100%, it just takes till we get down to about, the batteries are at 36, I think, this morning, 36%. And I was like, I should probably charge them. So we made water and laundry, and
I did 4 loads of laundry
she did
today.
4 loads of laundry,
Yeah.
so that's killer. And then
Yeah.
ran the generator, topped off the batteries, and I moved the boom around.
But
to try and
that's
get the
not
solar
bad,
working.
because when was the last time we ran the generator?
I know, right?
It's been days.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
So we're hoping it'll be better in the future, but
It will. As the sun gets higher, we'll make more power. Right now, it's just terrible. The angles are bad. We're always pointed into the wind because we're on anchor, and the wind is coming from where the sun is. So the solar panels are on the back of the boat. So, duh. And the angles aren't that great. They're not. It's not overhead enough. It's still February, so it's just mid-February.
it doesn't even feel like February. I know it does for those of you who are in cold climates, but
Yeah. Everybody else is
I
freezing
keep
their buns off.
forgetting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
cold out for a lot of people.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah, stay warm for those of you who are in cold climates.
yep.
And
Yeah, and leave us some comments on places we should see or things we should do that are kind of interesting. We will hit the big touristy things, of course, but it'd be nice to have some other things to do. The problem with these places is it's going so private, and we've read interesting things about that. Yes, and I like Cat Key, for instance. That yes, they went private, but they were always very cool with having people come on. They have a store there and some shops and a restaurant and things, and they'd love to have people there. And then they had some incredibly belligerent non-members come in and just tear the place up. And then they finally said, this is the reason why it's private, is to keep people like you out of here.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them for
like
that.
A couple bad eggs.
Yeah,
it
it just
ruined for everybody.
completely trashes it for everyone else, and
This is really sad.
that is really sad. Because a lot of these places, I'm sure, would love you to have you walk around, maybe go to the restaurant. And Chubb, for instance, they were bummed because nobody could get to the restaurant. It was always completely packed, and the members couldn't
so
get
the
to
members
the restaurant.
couldn't get seated, which that is ridiculous.
Yeah. But then it was super duper. It's going to bounce back the other way. It has to, because it was super quiet there. And I never saw a single person on the beach in front of a house and there's like a resort there. There was nobody outside, nobody at the pool.
Yeah, it was pretty dead.
And you say, well, okay, well, maybe it's not the height of the season, but I mean, it's winter time everywhere else. And if I was going to go to the Bahamas, February would be a great time to go. So, but there
It's
was
hard
nobody
to say
there.
what they'll do.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. I see it from both sides, because it would be
Right.
great for us to at least just walk on the beach. You don't want to trash the place. But then people go, they make big fires, make a big mess. They try to burn their trash or bury it in the beach or something like that. And then the members have to come out and clean up after these people. So
Yeah.
that's
who
not
knows?
cool either.
So we'll see. We're going to be
Yeah.
going down to Georgetown and spending some time down there. And I think there's some beaches that we can walk on. I have promised the boys, the kiddies, that they didn't get those vaccinations for nothing.
That's
I
right.
promised them beach time.
Yes.
So we have to be able to take Ozzy and Zeke on the beach at some point.
You have to go to the beach. So,
Yep.
Well, there'll be a mess, all covered in sand. Oh boy, it's gonna take days to get sand.
At
out
least
of them.
one day.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah, they'll have fun, I think. But,
Yep.
all right, everybody. Well,
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, thanks so much for joining, and we'll do another one of these pretty soon. We'll go find something interesting. These little day hops are so short; it's hard to actually do a live stream during the day hop. It's like 2 hours long, and it's kind of half of it's, or more than half of it's, spent the fuss getting the anchor up and getting moving, and then getting down. So whatever. So we'll try to do this. Maybe at the locations. Let us know in the comments. Do you like this at the locations, or do you like it when we're sailing?
Yeah.
When we're actually moving. Just let us know.
And some of these are just really short sails, so there's not even really much time for us to do the sailing part.
Yeah. So
Not
alright.
not now.
Yeah.
In the future.
we'll let you know if we catch anything other than the shark I caught on the way over.
Oh my gosh, that was another whole
Scared
story.
the crap out of me, that thing.
Oh, that was scary.
Poor guy. We did get the hook out, and he did go back in the water, and he was fine. But
That's also on Instagram.
yeah,
See
jeepers.
that.
So
Yeah.
holy cow.
That was scary.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't want you to lose a finger, so Franny put like a towel around it before she like threw him back in the water.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Boy, they're heavy.
Shark.
He was heavy, he weighed like 25, 30 pounds, something like that, and was like wrestling down a dog,
it's
you know?
actually pretty docile
Strong dog.
for a shark. Right? No.
Oh,
okay, maybe
he
not.
was flopping around and going all over the place, tail everywhere. You want to be out of the way of that thing.
You almost had the.
Almost had the hook out, and he rehooked it himself in
Oh,
another
and then we
place.
lost a pair of pliers.
And I lost a pair of pliers and the whole thing, so it was a big kerfuffle.
Yeah.
So I know now what to do, but
Which
Anyway.
is not to put the hook out in the.
no, what to do is
Just put it back
to
out
land
the
it up
shark.
here on the deck and then deal with it, then put the fish back in the water again. That's what you do. Don't try to do it off the back. I tried. I grabbed a pair of pliers. I was kind of hoping to unhook them right there, but he thrashed around and just threw my hand, and away it went. I was just scared. I just let go and pulled my hand away. So,
Yeah.
Oh well. But,
I think we need like 3 or 4 of those pliers.
yeah, we do.
So
Yeah, they'll dissolve quite quickly at the bottom of the ocean. I'm not worried about it.
yeah.
So, okay. Any rate, well, once again, it's fun to hang out. Aw, thank you.
It's like the
Thank you.
wherever we are. Oh, thank
Yep.
you.
Well, we'll pick this up in a few days and show you a new place. But we're having a great time. This is all brand new for us. We've never been to the Bahamas before. We've never been to the Exumas.
Well, we can't say never because we've been here now.
We have now. We've never been to a foreign
spent over a
country
week
with
here
boat.
now, right?
All
Like,
sorts of firsts.
We've
So
been here for like 10 days now.
yeah, it's been really fun.
So, yeah, so far so good. We have 80 more days to go.
Yeah, we have a lot more to go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh yes, I'll say hello to the sun for you. Yeah, it is still there. If you're wondering,
Yep.
it does still exist. I know
Yeah.
it can be kind of questionable if you're in the Pacific Northwest. It can be like, does the sun actually come up in the morning? It does. It's here. The moon's here too, by the way. Yeah. So,
We haven't
oh,
done
you haven't done the
Exumas,
Exumas yet.
City.
Oh, wow.
Or
So
Sam
yeah,
City, yeah.
it's an interesting place. So,
Well, we
yeah.
haven't done a lot of the other stuff. We've
Yeah.
been up into the Abacos. Maybe
We haven't done anything
this
else.
year, maybe not.
Yeah.
See.
so we'll see. But
Yeah.
okie dokers. Well, have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever. And we'll see you again really soon. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Safe travels.
All right. Safe travels.
Bye.
Bye-bye.